People, I'm back, and what a day to be back. It's 420, April 20th, 2015, and a lot of things have happened on this date. 420 is significant for a lot of reasons, for a lot of people. You know, the Boston bombing, Columbine, I can't remember the others. There's quite a few things. So it'll be an interesting day. Hopefully there will be not, well, there's tragedy every day, but I hope that we don't have some sickness unleashed today on purpose because of the date. It's very likely so. Watch the news. I have a couple of music reviews. I want to thank the artists directly for sending the music to me. We're going to start with a new release on the L'Amour label. L'Amour is a label out of Sweden that is supported by the Swedish Arts Council, which is fantastic. We need more of that in the United States. Thank you, folks, for sharing your releases with me. You're doing something really, really right. This latest one you sent me by Igor, Fast and Slow. And the insert tells the story of this musician. His name is Mikhail Stromberg. And apparently he had, I don't know if you call it a heart attack, but he was struck down with an illness. I understand it's related to his heart. Put him in the hospital in rehab for a long time. And that's what this music came out of. Excuse me. You know, the backstory actually is significant because there is, while this is mostly keyboard driven and ambient and beautiful, there is a sense of edginess to some of the pieces and discomfort at times, as well as real comforting beauty. And that to me really indicates how real this expression is musically, that the music came out of the direct experience of the recovery and the need to make the music in relation to it. This isn't released yet. It's due for release May 8th, and I think I can get away with playing a little bit of it because I think it speaks for itself. Now this reminds me of, or brings to mind, Harold Budd. More so than, no, it really doesn't make me think of Eno at all, actually, but when you say the term ambient, a lot of folks associate that with Eno. But this is reminiscent of something I'd hear by Harold Budd. I love it. I love it. Fast and Slow by Igor on L'Amour Records. I'll leave a link. Like I said, it hasn't been released yet. It's plain black vinyl. You know, listen to it. It's beautiful. It's a sound that I can get lost in. There's really not much to say, you know. This sound speaks for itself, you know. It's wonderful. Visually, I think this calls to mind right away a sense of being, trying to walk someplace. The ground is soft, like you're walking on wet grass, but it's foggy, and I really can't see too much of what's ahead of me. So there's a sense of like searching or trying to see through the mist. Just a visual I get while listening to this piece. So there's that. I'm gonna go ahead and take it off. I can't think of really much else to say about the record, except that this is music. This is what I consider real music, made because the person had to make it. It served a purpose, and then they wanted to share it with us. I'm glad they did. Igor, Fast and Slow on Lamour Records. Now, besides that, I received a CD. A fellow by name Mogadev, who is the main writer for the band. Mohadev reached out to me online on Facebook and said he thought that I might be interested in his music. Could he send something to me? I said sure. So he sent me. Apparently, this is their latest stop motion orchestra, released in 2014 on Egg Helmet Records. He also sent me his card. That's Mohadev. Egg Helmet. Mohadev. And a little thank you. You betcha. There's the egghelmet.com. I haven't listened to this all the way through. It's called Instant Everything. I like it a lot. I already can recommend this strongly recommend this album. I highly recommend the Igor. Actually, both of these are strong recommendations. Okay, let's get that straight, all right? Not because you sent them to me, but because you sent me music that I think is worthwhile. As I explained, this music, you listen to it and it transports you. It transports you. It's real obvious to me from feeling this music that it had to be made. This is real art. It's not just a commercial product. Even though commercial product can be good, I'm not interested in hearing commercial product made to sell to the masses. I will make a comment, an opinion. I don't care about Madonna or Taylor Swift's new albums, whether or not they're any good. They have plenty of money. They may be good, but it's a commercial product, and I'm not interested. I'd like to hear something real. There's probably something real on both of those albums, but there's a lot of people who are making music that don't have anything, like me, that need ears and finance, okay? So here I am doing my part to share the word about other musicians besides the multimillionaires who don't need any more of our money. I need some of that money. This band more than likely needs some of that money. Stop motion orchestra. To get to the music, besides the beautiful packaging, I love the rainbow graphics. The music is very much in the progressive rock vein of Henry Cow, Art Bears, Samla Mama Smana, Fred Frith. I even get a hint of the feeling of klezmer music on this. It's well written, highly arranged. It's probably written out, I'll bet you. And if it's not, these guys are wonderful musicians to remember these arrangements. But musicians, instruments used are sampled violin, tenor sax, soprano sax, drums, synth bass, guitar, bass, banjo, and objects. And it's a bright, upbeat, generally feeling to the music, kind of jaunty, not morose. You know, some music has mood. And what I picked up on this from what I've listened so far is it's bright. The cover is very fitting. Mohadev, thank you for sending this music. And people who are interested in instrumental music that moves a lot, features good playing. If you like the artist I mentioned before, this is very satisfying. Might be able to get away. I'm going to go ahead and play some, and maybe it'll be okay. You, again, get a taste of this and you can decide for yourself. I'll leave links for both of the records. Makes me think of Fred's album, Gravity. See what I mean? Samla Mama's Mana as well. This is good stuff. Yeah, I'll speak like an old man for a second. I'd like to hear more young people listening to this stuff. I try to stay up on what the kids are listening to. You know, I'm not a kid, and so it's obviously not meant for me. But you know, there's just just like when I was a kid, adults thought that what I was listening to was crap. Some of it was, but quite a bit of what I was listening to as a child has survived. It's some of the best music ever made, which I recognized even as a child. So what I'm saying is that even children today, if they're not raised to be too stupid, can recognize quality and good art. And I recommend this music to be exposed to young people. I'll flip some names, you know. Like I said earlier, I would much rather try to turn some young people onto music like this than Taylor Swift or Beyonce or Madonna or Danny Brown or the lower end of hip hop where it's all about where the hoes at and stuff. You know, I'm just life is so shitty. We just really need to wake up and look at how we're screwing ourselves by making entertainment out of squalidness. You know, there was a time when I went through that period, like with industrial music in particular, looking at the dark side and trying to understand what it was about, but getting past the point of being entertained by it. Do you see what I'm saying? I can't help but make these comments because it's just part of what's going on. From my perspective, you know, which is we're living in a world that is very out of balance, very out of tune, very topsy-turvy, and daily events occur that show us that, you know, the thin veneer of civility is shrinking, and rather than people who are still like on the solid platform of civility or economics, rather than them trying to do something to solidify the foundation so it lasts, it just keeps shrinking away, and they just keep moving closer and closer to the air, you know, the safe part or whatever, while everyone else is flailing, falling apart, dying, you know. So I think it's just really important to me to just continue to address that, you know, the fact that we're living in these times that are, you know, maybe the same as it was 50 years ago, but it doesn't appear to be to me like it was 50 years ago. I was here 50 years ago. And, you know, it's just like, it's just well past time to just keep going on. It's like, boy, people are collectively speaking out, but a large collective voice saying, hey, we gotta turn this ship around. I'd just love to hear that being said by the mainstream media instead of them keeping us distracted and just being paid as the 1% have all the fun, and more of us are dying and just struggling. Anyway, you know you're going to get some of that when you come here. What else is going on with me? Well, you know, I have been working on, you know, establishing new routes of income. I got to talk about it because this is what we're all up against, you know, since money rules and a small percentage of the world has all of it, and the rest of us, people like me, are really at odds to keep going. I have some appointments. Today I have an appointment with a singer who used to be in Sergio Mendes, Brazil 77. I'll say her name, Carol Rogers. She's approached me about working, and so we're going to talk about doing a project. I'm excited. I hope it works. You know, the idea of it being working with a wonderful, amazing vocalist and making music that somehow can break through to a more commercially viable market where I can start getting paid some fucking money. I'm already making great music, you know, but it's like somehow I've got to tap into. I gotta find a way to make a living with this, you know. I don't know what kind of work I can get at my age. You know, I'm a retired social worker. Who would hire me? I don't know. I so don't want to go back on the chain gang of paid job. It's like slavery. It was mental slavery. So I have that meeting today with Carol, hoping it goes well. Looking to set up some kind of performance and take it from there. I have some other things coming up this week. A meeting with a well-known art collector in town who is a worldwide known art collector. Won't say that name yet, but they are talking about having me do an exhibit, but they can't have me until next year because their gallery is already booked up. So see, it's like I'm learning about this, you know, how you put things in place and how it takes time, but I'm going to be sitting for a portrait for this artist. They're going to take my picture, you know, which I'm flattered by. But also, we're going to be discussing getting my art on the calendar for the gallery. This is also in the works for another gallery. So it's like I have seeds being planted for things to happen, but it's like I got to make it in the meantime. With that in mind, I'm down to about 40 copies of Murphy on vinyl. I have more of Flyover. This is really good music. And besides that, I have some compact discs and stuff. Just go to my blog site, you know, support me. And if you don't want to buy my records, I'm against the idea of doing something like a subscription service. It's just not how I operate naturally, you know. So honestly, if you get anything out of my channel and would like to see me stay on the air, make a donation to me, you know, to my PayPal, and I'll leave the email address. I don't care if this sort of outcry rubs some people the wrong way. I don't care. You know, they're not me, then, you know, so what if it doesn't appeal to your sensibilities? I'm telling it like it is, you know. I worked since I was 14. I'll be 60 in July. I left my job early about 3 years ago because it was killing me, literally. Ended up in the hospital twice with near aneurysm. I can't draw Social Security for another 2 years. God only knows if I'll even be there, you know, to draw when I'm there. So in the meantime, I'm, you know, doing, you know, I'm just telling you how it is, okay? I feel that I deserve this time that I've been living, which is I've been living day to day, focused on doing art or just living. And this is what I want to do, you know. It's like, I think a lot of people would like to do it, but I'm claiming the right to be able to do it. I deserve it, you know. I've worked hard. I can work hard more if I have to. I don't want to. So, you know, I'm slowly discovering how to make my way as an artist. But like I say, it's in a fractured, very broken world, you know, that has to be, I think it has to be acknowledged that times are tough. So that's what's up with me. Let me end this by drawing your attention back to the releases that were sent to me. Any other record companies or artists, if you think your stuff is good, again, remember, notice what I like. If you think that I'd like it and that I can help you sell your product, which is partly what this is, send it to me. This is good. Igor, I recommend this. Fast and Slow. Released next month on Lamour Records out of Sweden. I recommend this. I love this. Same for this. Stop Motion Orchestra. This is already out. Really good. Really good. But like I said, I've had people send me music that it didn't hit me right at the time. Avni Moon comes to mind right away. He sent me a bunch of music, didn't strike me right away. He's doing well now, and his music's gotten much better. And, you know, he was able to, I had to, what do you say? But, you know, can you take it? You can dish it, but can you take it? So I had to take it because, you know, Avni Moon had the opportunity to give me the feedback back that he didn't think my music was all that hot, you know. So, you know, that's how it goes, you know, and the feedback just makes you want to be better, you know, and that's what he let me know. That negative feedback helped him to become better. I'm always trying to be better. Okay, folks, go out and buy some music. Oh, wait, yeah. So we just had Record Store Day, and I'm not talking about Record Store Day at all, am I? Because of the reality, I'm a broke artist. I bought nothing on Record Store Day related to Record Store Day because I don't have any money. I had a little bit of credit at the store that I played at. I participated in Record Store Day. The original idea was that I was going to play at Record Store Day and feature my new album that was supposed to be out by now, the one that Savas and I have sunk our money into and we're still waiting for, but because of the big record labels pushing the indies out at the pressing plants, it's not here. But I did get 2 records on trade out of the used section. A lot of the product that's being made for Record Store Day is gouging people. It's just for profit. It's just really, really sad. I'm not a capitalist, you know. It's like I think that profit running people's behaviors and motivations is really, really has shown its ass, okay? There's too much corruption in my opinion, to continue to prop up the idea of economic growth. Too many people are suffering. Just gotta hear me out, people. So I picked up Circuses and Bread by Dereck, and I've been wanting this on vinyl forever. I've had the CD since it came out. Vinnie Riley on guitar. I love his work. Some of my earlier work is compared to Vinnie Riley. It's a flattery. I don't sound like Vinnie Riley. It's flattering that people think I do. His music is gorgeous, so thank you for thinking that my music is almost as good as his, or as good. So I picked this up, and I picked up another one on the Crepuscule label. Rough with the Smooth. It's a compilation. Paul Haig, Section 25 are on here. Wim Mertens, Dereck and Pale Fountains are on here. Blaine Renninger from Tuxedo Moon. I just love the Crepuscule label. So I picked these up. But I have no money for Record Store Day. It's just ironic, how things are just out of balance, And I'm going to say something else, too, that I've been thinking. It's like, as I've been aging, the thought has occurred to me that following generations are going to successively get it wrong more. And successive generations can get defensive and all they want to. But look at the world we're living in. A lot of things are just gone to absolute shit. People who are... That old Jerry Lewis movie, Who's Minding the Mint? A bunch of idiots. That's my criticism, but if I were to say it more even-toned, I'd say people who are running things just don't know what they're doing, and whatever reasons they're giving themselves to prop up their actions, they're blowing it. hurting a lot of people in the process, and it's just got to be stated. Crazy times, crazy times. The fundraiser for my dental work is still going. You know, isn't that a shame that, you know, the 1% are so fucking greedy that we're reduced to doing fundraisers, begging for money from poor people, begging for money from people, from other poor people, while the 1% just keep sucking everything up and holding it and hoarding it. And somehow people are applauding this, thinking, oh, I can do it too. Fucking fools.